This is Jen from Behind the Scenes Tarot, and today is Sunday, March 23rd, 2025. And if you're like me, you are looking at the internet over the weekend and seeing a ton of breaking news on the pyramids in Giza. So if you do your research, you find out that it was a group of folks independent from Egyptology, they're just out there doing their own research. And there was actually a conference where this was released in Italy, I believe this past week, and that's why all this information is coming to light. What they did was they took LiDAR satellites, so ground penetrating satellite images, and they could look beneath the surface of any place on Earth that they want. And they chose to look underneath the pyramids to see what was really going on underneath there. And what they found was these like tubes, and you all know what the images look like, right? Like these shafts, these tubes in a very planned formation. And in fact, they're 600 meters tall. It's taller than the Empire State Building. Okay, that's how tall these shafts are. And then it ends up, it terminates at some sort of a base at the bottom. And the standard, I guess, narrative from the Egyptologists believe the narrative that it's a tomb. I think we've kind of shot that theory in the foot multiple times over. Then the second idea was that it was generating a power plant, which I think is very cool. But I actually have what I'm calling the Gen thesis. And the Gen thesis has sort of a different idea. What I got was it is sort of, I would call it like a power plant in a sense, but not for the sake of like Tesla free energy, power your home, power your appliances or what have you. But the Earth resonates as an F sharp. And there's multiple pyramid complexes all around the Earth. You see them in Bosnia, you see them in South America, you see them all over the world. And I actually think that these pyramids are part of a system that help to create or to maintain that F sharp resonance. It's almost as if that's the unique thumbprint or calling card for Earth itself. So as souls are looking to incarnate into a planet plane, or in this experience, this realm, whatever language you wish to put, they're looking for the F sharp. Now, the pyramid complex in Giza, I believe, is sort of the primary, and all these other pyramids around the world are to help keep that in lock resonance, to keep that frequency going planetary wide. But it was the main bringer of souls into this Earth experience. So then the halls of Amenti, which are fabled to be below the pyramid complex, essentially could be like an Akashic record of sense in terms of what souls are here at any given time. So the souls come in through the pyramid complex. The other pyramids around the world help to keep that F sharp resonance and frequency. And the Sphinx is the watcher to watch the souls go through their reincarnation cycle. So when we're ready for the next batch of volunteers, perhaps they'll come in through the pyramid complex once more. I actually don't think that it's currently in operation because we already have the souls that are in this epoch, essentially. And maybe at every yuga or epoch or whatever language you want to term for a grand cycle of souls that incarnate in a chunk of time, then I think the pyramid turns itself on, and those cylinders beneath the pyramid complex that were just discovered over the LiDAR, I feel like that it needs to be that deep, that powerful, so it can communicate to the galactic center. And that's where all the souls are coming in from. And so I want to ask the cards if they agree. So let's go ahead and ask. So show us the true behind the scenes energy of the pyramid in Giza. What is its operational intent? What is its true behind the scenes energy of its operational intent? Three, two, and one. The true behind the scenes energy of its operational intent. Pyramids of Giza. Okay, so based on the story that I just shared, I could actually surmise that these cards are sort of validating it. So it is the holder of, I'll use these pentacles now. Instead of money, we can talk about this as souls, right? So here's a new soul that comes in at the on the surface, it's holding a group of souls. But behind the scenes and in the background, it is when an individual soul makes an agreement to come in and it's leveraging from its higher self. The higher self makes an agreement to be part of a collective group. And on an individual soul basis, we make the agreement to come into this earth plane. The moon is a bunch of secrets, and we can dive into that and clarify that. And I'll also say here that it's sort of not in operation at the moment, right? So it's and won't be for the future. So I don't see a time, at least in this epoch, that it's going to be turned back on again. Like in our lifetime, I don't believe that we'll see the pyramid in its operational glory, essentially. But let's go ahead and clarify what is the secret, what's hidden in the moon. Nine of Cups, Judgment. Seven of Swords. There's a strategic nature for it. The Judgment card is really interesting because this could be the F sharp resonance, the F sharp tone that is calling souls into the earth realm. So why is it not operational at the moment? Let's clarify the Five of Pentacles. We get the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. So it's actually not in operation. I think that this is kind of validating that. Like this would be its path and working, but it's not working at the moment. I don't think it's broke. I don't know if it's broken or, actually, let's clarify. What is the 10 of Wands? The Four of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the Temperance. Okay, well, this is really interesting. So it actually does work, but there's some negativity that if it were to be turned back on again, like it would interrupt the flow of the soul cycles that are currently in play at the moment. So it's actually put into a dormant state so that way these souls can continue its journey that they contracted for. They made the promise up here. So let's actually clarify. Who did they make a promise with? Three of Cups, the Sun, Six of Cups. This is a promise made in the past, a very positive promise for its best and highest good. So in a sense, it made a promise with Source. It wanted to come in. I actually truly do believe that the pyramids and that this structure, this complex that we found is a way for this pyramid to be able to communicate with the galactic center, actually the sun, the central sun, to be able to say, hello, we're calling in a group of souls in this period of time. And it's sort of like makes a request for souls and then goes dormant and will stay shut until that cycle of that epoch is over. So let me ask the cards. If you can tell us anything more about the structures that we found beneath the surface of the pyramid in Giza. Show us the true behind the scenes meaning of what was discovered underneath the pyramid of Giza. If in fact the gem thesis is true and what the pyramids are really doing, it's leveraging the F sharp harmonics as a calling card for a group of souls to come into Earth. But why the need for all that infrastructure underneath the pyramids? So what is the true behind the scenes purpose for the infrastructure underneath the pyramids? 3, 2, and 1. Well, it's strategic for sure. A bringer of emotion, a bringer of information. It worked as designed, but now it's dormant. It's strategically turned off. the Emperor, Tower. Interesting. So we're asking what is the infrastructure beneath the pyramids for? I do believe it is to bring in and sort of, I'll go back to the Gen thesis, right? Like it's the bringer of souls. It's what allowed that to happen. This is in the past. It is working as designed. It is strategically as designed, but it doesn't have anything to do at the moment. But what's interesting is in the future, it could be turned back on again. And the emperor in this particular situation could be God himself or the creator or the universe, right? So what would require a change here to turn the infrastructure back on again? Knight of Cups, the Empress, the Moon, basically to give birth to something new. It's almost, and so what's interesting here is it brought cups in the past. This is if it wants to bring a new cup. So it's sort of like the vessel of life, the holy grail, our soul essence itself. If it's in order to turn this back on again, it needs to give birth to bringing in new souls into the earth complex. And so I'm curious what the moon is representing. Five of Cups, Queen of Swords, and Five of Wands. Maybe someone has tried to turn it on in the past, but that just would create chaos in terms of the balance. I almost wonder if we were to clarify this Five of Wands card, if we would get the Justice card. I feel like turning it on prematurely would upset the balance, and it would disrupt the flow of the cycles of souls that are here on Earth. So I feel like the infrastructure is to help power some galactic machine that helps to bring in souls and allow those souls to go on the reincarnation wheel within the Earth complex. So if you hear about people having thousands of lifetimes on Earth and they can remember being this person and that person and this person, having all these collective experiences, it might even be part of their, past life trauma that they're trying to heal in this lifetime. It's because they've done it over and over and over and over again, because we're all contracted to reincarnate in this particular cycle of time. And it's successful. That's its intent. It has a strategic purpose, and it's turned off at the moment in order to protect the balance of the souls that are on this reincarnation cycle. So bottom of the deck, Two of Cups. That's the agreement. Top of the deck, Fool. At some point, maybe we'll have some more information, some new information that we'll get to learn that will help to kind of validate this thesis. I don't know. But this is Jen's thesis in terms of the creation of the pyramids, the purpose of the pyramids, and to validate the F-sharp harmonic resonance within the pyramid, to validate the infrastructure beneath the system, so that way it can have enough power coming from the base of the Earth herself to be able to generate enough power that can go through the top of the pyramid and communicate to the galactic center to bring in souls into this reincarnation wheel for a particular cycle of time. And all of the pyramids around the Earth are to help keep that system in balance. And who knows, maybe we might find pyramids on other planets someday that also have life, or perhaps have had life in the past. And I bet you they'll have a different sound. Not F-sharp, something different, because that will be the calling card for that particular planet. So I don't know. It's a wild theory, but this is based on some of the work that I've done in the past with tarot, and to try and leverage cards today to be able to validate that thesis. So let's see if it gains traction. I don't know. This is Jen from Behind the Scenes Tarot. Have a great rest of your day.